So you all aren't seeing things. Usually I do, bring the other guys in, but it's just two tonight. That's right. It's the MC and the DJ. So welcome to Basketbros. I am your host, Denzel Snipes, alongside Will Vogel. And as you all may have seen the advertisement and everything, by the way, we are live on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, as well as DBTV. But this is a special episode. We are commemorating and celebrating the career of Carmelo Anthony, who recently retired. And so what we'll do is we'll have about a half hour show. We're just going to go over his moments and go over his career in general and bring back and elicit some awesome memories. But first and foremost, shout out to Scott Morganroth, who's out there. And let's see here. He had to take care of some business. And Jacob actually got invited to a Braves game, which you can catch now on ESPN. So just so you all know, he has been officially traded to Baseball Bros, wherever they are broadcasting. So, but not just kidding. No, he's out there right now. Hopefully you all can, it's a good game out there. Who is it? Well, it's Braves Phillies, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I did see Strider is pitching. I don't know who he's going against. You know who he's going against?
I would guess Nola or Wheeler, but I'm not sure.
Was it Wheeler or Nola? I can't remember. It might be Aaron Nola. He did pitch sometime last week. But yeah, anyhow, should be a great game, NL East matchup. Just like mentioned earlier, you can tune in via Sideline Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and DBTV. If you are on YouTube watching this right now, please hit the like button, but also at the same time hit the subscribe button for more content from Sideline Sports. We have joined forces with Let's Talk Sports, and so it's going to be great. They're coming with some awesome shows from overseas in the UK, so it's going to be a great deal. The empire is growing. So please tune in for more content. It's not just us, you guys. It's basketball. It's basketball, of course. It's us. It's the Gauntlet, Sideline Sports Show, not LinkedIn, Confidential, Pundit Views. We also got some new shows in the works as well. So, First to 56, shout out to those guys. Pushing them back with Kobe White, shout out to those guys. On for the Truth, shout out to Troy Geary Stein Stevens show. So we've been doing it, and we've been on for. If you're just discovering us, like, hey, did you guys just come out? Well, we've been around for about a year, maybe a year and a half, so we're still young, but we've been around. So you got all this material to catch up on, right? So, and we always bring you the latest and greatest week by week. So, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, of course, hit the like button, follow us. We're covering live events as well. And again, the latest and greatest, more of the heat that you like in sports. So definitely tune in. But now getting on to tonight's topic, and that is Mr. Carmelo Anthony. He officially has retired as of last week. And so in bringing up his career, give me just 1 second here. Let's see, okay. Okay, here we go. So he retired after 19 seasons. 6'7", 238 small forward. He went to Syracuse, where he was one of Jim Boeheim's one and done guys. Let's see here. He played the 3 and the 4. Let's see here. He's mostly known for his time in Denver, but also he spent a significant time in New York. Then he just kind of like one hopped it, for the next couple of years. Oklahoma City Thunder. Then he was here in Houston as well. Then he was in Portland. Actually spent 3 years in Portland, and finally ending with the Los Angeles Lakers, where he finally got to play with LeBron. I don't quite know if it was a nice try, but that kind of reminded me of remember when Wade came to Cleveland and united with LeBron and it didn't work out? It's like, man, I get the brothers
Yep.
and everything, but sometimes those reunions don't always. And see, it's crazy because nowadays you're starting to hear about a Kyrie and LeBron reunion. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can like reunite them, especially at this stage in his career. I don't know if you can reunite him with anybody else, really. You know what I mean? But keeping on with Carmelo, Amazing career. It's a 10-time All-Star, two-time All-NBA second team, four-time All-NBA third team. Why he never made a first team is beyond me. He won a scoring title in 2013. He's on the All-Rookie first team in '04. Outside the court, he's the Social Justice Champion Award. He's on the 75th anniversary team. In the NCAA, he was an NCAA champion in 2003. As a matter of fact, that was the last time my Texas Longhorns reached the Final Four. They ran into Syracuse. I think Melo had like 33 that night. They went on to win the national title. He was the Final Four most outstanding player for '03. Consistent second team All American. USBWA National Freshman of the Year. Syracuse Orange number 15 retired, and more than likely his Nuggets jersey will be retired as well as probably his Knicks jersey. As a two-time USA Basketball Athlete of the Year, first team Parade All-American, and he was a McDonald's All-American in 2002. His career average, he averaged 22.5 points per game. He also averaged 6.2 rebounds per game and 2.7 assists per game. And representing the United States men's basketball team. But wait, there's more. Gold medal 2008 Beijing, gold medal 2012 in London, gold medal 2016 in Rio, bronze medal 2004 Athens. The World Championship in Japan, 2006 got the bronze, and the America's Championship he got gold in 2007 Las Vegas. He played one season at Syracuse. He was a part of the vaunted 2003 NBA draft, which prompted stars like Chris Bosh, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and three of those four ended up on the same team at one point. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, okay. He had his first conference finals appearance. Let's see. Oh, the Nuggets had their first conference finals appearance since 1985. Was traded to the Knicks days before the NBA trade deadline. And then, of course, what it goes on into what we will lead into our Basketbros moment in time coming up here in a minute. But, I mean, you talk about undoubtedly 19-year career, right? Undoubtedly, a Hall of Fame career. You know, every now and again, it seems like in sports, you get that one player who has just an amazing career, but could never like bring it home, right? Um, and unfortunately, he was one of them. We may get into at the end of this telecast the reason why. A lot of people are gonna say and have said he is deserving of a ring, you know. But as far as the Hall of Fame, absolutely. But I want to pass it over to Will, my partner Will here. Give us your thoughts on Carmelo Anthony and his storied career.
Melo is an amazing scorer. Melo was so much fun to watch. He played against LeBron in high school, actually, where Carmelo had 34 points and 11 rebounds, and LeBron had 36. He played at Syracuse for 1 year, but he originally planned to play 2 to 3 years, but he accomplished what he wanted to, and Boeheim said, "Okay, you're good to go," and he gave him his blessing. He's the
Awesome.
fourth rookie in NBA history to win all six Rookie of the Months in a season. David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and fellow rookie LeBron James that
Oh
same
wow.
year. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, as we and he also played with Amari Stoudemire and Raymond Felton on the McDonald's All American team, which he would later reunite with them in New York. And he also
Mm-hmm.
won the dunk contest for the All American. But yeah, Melo was so much fun to watch. That guy would just put on a show when he could. He was. I remember watching the All Star games when I was a kid in the mid 2000s, teenager, and it'd be the starting lineup in the West would go like Melo, Kobe, Nash, or Chris Paul. And then you got Dirk, you got KG, you got Tim Duncan. But Melo was always there. Melo was always hooping it up. Definitely a great college player. Definitely a great NBA player. It stinks he couldn't win one, but you know what? Besides that, I still think he's a top 100 player of all time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Most definitely. And I mean, it just all depends on if he's gonna go into the Hall of Fame as a Nugget or a Nick. I'm gonna say a Nugget.
And I've got
Man.
a follow up question for you.
Oh, go ahead.
Down the line, when Jokic retires, if you're the Nuggets, how do you choose? Do you choose Melo? or do you choose Jokic for
Oh man,
15?
that's crazy. For you mean like on the Mount Rushmore maybe?
No, for hanging the jersey retirement.
Oh shoot, yeah, Jokic is okay. Man, that's crazy.
I feel like Jokic will have to give it up at some point. Number
At some
15.
point, yeah, I agree. I mean, but also at the same time, I mean, is it possible they could retire the same number? And well, no, because that kind of defeats the purpose. Yeah, I think Jokic may have to actually switch numbers. They may like let them know, like, hey, we're gonna retire this jersey in honor of Melo. So like,
I
here's some
bet he'd
jerseys. But
be
yeah, that's
fine with it.
crazy.
I bet he would be fine with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I bet he would be fine with it. Yeah, that's tough, man. Because it's not like it's a bum that's wearing number 15. Like he just won back-to-back MVPs. He just won Western Conference Final MVP. He's
Yeah.
probably going to win the finals, Nick. So like, like I don't know. And the crazy. And okay, I'll put it to you like this. What if he wins the finals and wins Finals Most Valuable Player and everything? Who do you
Yeah.
have above who in history?
True, because he would be the first Nugget to win a championship
Yep.
between them
As
both.
as storied as storied as Carmelo's career is, some people would already put Jokic over Melo. Some people will probably put him over Melo now because Jokic has 2 MVPs.
Call me crazy. I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for this. I give it a Jokic because number one, I think Carmelo left in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
I think he
Hmm.
left bad blood because he wanted. We all know he wanted to go to New York. He went to college in New York.
Yeah.
So I give this. I'm not saying Jokic is a better player than Carmelo. They're both two different types of players.
Yeah. True.
But I would give the slight edge to Jokic personally if Jokic wins the finals.
Yeah. Yeah. And there'd be nothing wrong with that. I mean, now I do have to be honest. Even though he wanted to play, but I don't know. I guess I can't be too mad at it if he wanted to go there. But I hated the move to the Knicks, and I'll tell you
I
why.
remember that same day. It was the most weird trade of all time.
I hated it.
I
I
think it wasn't
despised it
it like
because at the time period, the Knicks were a bottom franchise. I was like, this team is gonna ruin Melo. Mark my words.
yeah,
I said
wasn't
this
it
team's gonna
like
ruin Melo.
who was in the trade? Danilo Gallinari.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know they had a
Who
few
was
more
in the Melo
pieces in
trade?
it.
Hang on, that's actually worth looking up. Who was in the Carmelo
The only one I
Anthony?
could think of is Danilo Gallinari for some reason.
New York sent Wilson Chandler, Raymond Felton, Danilo Gallinari, and Timofey Mozgov, and a first round pick and 2 second rounders in exchange for Carmelo Anthony. They actually gave up, well, hold on, in exchange for Carmelo Anthony, Chauncey Billups, Sheldon Williams, Anthony Carter, and Ronaldo Balkman.
I remember that. Yeah, yeah, I remember Chauncey left too. Yeah.
Sounds kind of even to me. Well, the Nuggets actually may have they may have made out with that. I mean, they have a past prime Chauncey Billups, but they also got a first rounder and 2 second rounders.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not gonna call it an outright fleecing, but I think the Nuggets got the better deal.
Oh yeah, easily.
Oh yeah. So, but you know what? Everybody knows that Carmelo Anthony, scores in volumes, and he can take over a game at will. No pun intended. But that sends us to our second topic, and that is our Basketbros moment in time. It's April 2012. Melo scores 43 and hits the game-winning jumper to top Bulls 199 in a rockin' Madison Square Garden. Now, this moment right here, definitely, if you're a Knicks fan, you absolutely love this moment. He had 43 points, 6 of which came from threes to send the game to overtime, and then eventually win it. It was the final seconds of regulation. It sent it to and he hit the jumper to send it to OT. In the final seconds of overtime, and he hit it to take the lead. Hang on, we got a comment here. I was James saying. He said the Nuggets not going to trade Meadows great for the Knicks. Still, and again, even though he wanted to go, I still hated the move. He might have been great for the Knicks. I don't think the Knicks were great for him. I would have rather seen him go elsewhere. The
Uh,
Knicks at the time period were a bottom franchise. Period. They were struggling.
so
It went
yeah,
to be,
about this moment, yeah, it's crazy because he's the only Nick to score more than 15 that game. There was no Jeremy Lin, no Amari Stoudemire.
mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing is, he had 5 fouls. Imagine if he fouled out, they could have lost the game. He could have had less than 43 points. He could have had like 30 something. Yeah, like, and then he just was so good from three. And I just remember the same picture where he's shooting a three and like he's like shooting it right in the face of Luol Deng.
Yeah. It was, yeah, definitely. And I mean, like, it was, let me see, they won 199. The Bulls still had Derrick Rose, and they had him in the lineup for the first time since mid-March.
This
And then
was this third year's Derrick Rose?
this is Derrick Rose third year, about third or fourth year.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I
Braves
thought.
home run, 1-0. Let's see here. Melo opened the game 5 for 5. New York's intensity on both ends built them a 27-6 lead, but then the benches came on, and then the lead started to chip away. Let's see here. Bull went up by as much as 10 with just under 4 minutes remaining. And then Carmelo Anthony took over, kind of like last night in Game 6. You know, the Celtics were up 10 with 4 minutes to go, and then like here came the Heat, right? But Anthony hit consecutive layups. He drilled a game-tying three in Taj Gibson's face. And then the game went to overtime after Rose airballed it. And then if the Bulls now here's the thing. The Bulls actually had they had missed their free throws. They went 0 for 4. Rose and Luol Deng went 0 and 4 in the final minute. And then overtime pretty much went the same. Let's see here. Nick's got another look, a Smith three. Another look in the hands of Anthony. Anthony squared up and then drilled a three-pointer to win it. So awesome moment for. Did they just go back to back? Holy cow! I think the Braves just went back to back. Oh man, that's
Wow.
nuts. 3-0 Atlanta. Um, but yes, I mean, any other thoughts on this moment by Carmelo Anthony?
Nope, just flat out greatness.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Definitely agree. Yeah, Austin Riley just sent one over. All right, well, we're also going to go on to our second moment in time, and that is, and I know you're probably not going to like this too much, Will, but we had to put it up there. January 2014, Anthony scored his career high 62 points with 0 assists to beat the Bobcats 125-96. The crazy part about that stat line right there was the fact that he had 0 assists. As a matter of fact, as I
One of
pull
your
up
something more
his,
crazy?
go ahead.
0 turnovers.
Yeah, and no turnovers. And no turnovers, man. It is nuts. Here's the entire box score,
That
as a matter of
go through
fact.
that Bobcats roster. It was horrendous last time I checked.
Okay, you ready for the Bobcats roster? Let's see. There was McRoberts, Kid
Bum,
Gilchrist,
bum,
Jefferson, Henderson,
eh.
Sessions. Jefferson had 25 that night. He was
Ramon
11 of
Sessions. Oh
19.
God.
Let's see. On the bench, there was Tolliver, Biombo, Zeller, Pargo, Douglas, Adrian. Oh, and the other three just didn't play. But and then on the Knicks, well, I mean, you had Raymond Felton, you had Tyson Chandler, had Amon Shumpert, had Tim Hardaway Jr. And let's see here. Oh, and also J.R. Smith as well. Smith had 14 off the
I
bench.
think the
Hardaway had 10.
Bobcats was that the year the Bobcats went like 7-59?
Ooh, at the time of this game, they were actually 19-26.
Was that the year they made the playoff? I can't even remember.
It may have been. Let's see here. Melo had he played 39 minutes. He had 62 points. He was 6 of 11 from 3-point range, 13 rebounds. So it was a 60-point double-double. 0 assists, field goal. He went 23 of 35 from the field. This pretty much is kind of like that Kobe game when he told his teammates, "Don't bother stretching because I'm not passing the ball." Before he dropped 81 on the Raptors' head.
Dude, you know what's crazy about it too? 37 in the first half. Most points for a player that year. Most points in Madison Square Garden history.
Yeah.
13 rebounds, 65.7 field goal percentage, 10 for
Mm-hmm.
10 from
Mm-hmm.
three. He scored more than 54 times, and this is his only 60-point game. So talk about a flawless, basically, game
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty
besides the
much.
field goal percentage.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, but I mean, whenever you got somebody who's going to drop 62 like that, it pretty much is you pass the ball to him. He doesn't pass the ball to you, you
No.
know? Because I think even in Kobe's 81-point game, he may have had one assist, like one, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, with this right here, and granted, yeah, it was against the Bobcats. You know, I get it. You know what I mean? But you have to show that same energy because when Kobe dropped his 81 on the Raptors, no one was talking about how sorry the Raptors were. They're talking about how great Kobe was because he dropped 81. Whenever, who was it? It was last season. Remember when Kyrie dropped his his huge scoring game, and they were like, "Oh, well, it was on.
Yeah.
Who were they even playing?" See, now you make me look it up. Because I remember I was arguing with somebody behind this.
I can't remember who they were playing.
He dropped 60 points. Hold on. He dropped 60 points. Hang on a second. Who did they play? Oh, the Spurs. Yeah. They were playing the Spurs, and then like people were talking about, oh man, well, it was against the Spurs. And it's like, but hang on a second. No one talked about that when Kobe dropped 81, it was against the Raptors, or when Melo dropped 62, it was against the Bobcats. I'm just saying, show that consistent energy. You know what I mean? A
Yeah.
60 plus point game is a 60 plus point
And
game,
it's
no
not
matter how you
easy.
snatch it.
And it's not easy, no matter who it is.
Yeah, it is. Granted, yeah, and see, you know what? And this is where you can see both sides of an argument here. Because granted, yes, it's kind of like boxing, right? It's like, okay, this fighter might be 9-0, but if he fought 9 tomato cans, no one's going to take him serious, right?
Yep.
Now, granted, yes, that may be a bottom team. That'd be like saying like, oh, okay, if the Chiefs were like playing the Texans and then they blow us out like 35-3. It's like, okay, you really didn't play anybody, they're a bottom team, right? You know what I mean? But don't tell me he hit a home run. Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought that he went deep again. They're just pouring it on the fields already. It's 3-0.
What's the
0.
score?
3-0 at the bottom of the first and 2 men on. But yeah, it's real
Knowing
easy.
Jacob, he caught one of those baseballs.
I don't know where he's sitting at. I have to call him after this and find out or text him. But anyway, it's very easy to get out of the mindset that this is doing it at a professional level. You know what I mean? I get it. The level of competition is minimal compared to, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, you drop 62 points on a 19-win Bobcats team, but they're still a professional team. They're just the worst of the best. You know what I mean? Because compared to anybody else, like it's the exact reason why we say like you could take the worst NFL team, right? And they would demolish the national champion, Yeah, it's like, the worst NFL team is the worst of the best. You take the Bobcats at the time period. They were some of the worst of the best because the NBA is, the cream of the crop when it comes to pro basketball leagues in this world. So when you score 62 points, granted, yes, it may have been on the Bobcats, on the lowly Bobcats, but I was still on a pro team. Last I checked, that's not easy to do, just like you said.
Yep.
And so and well, we have a few minutes left, and so just want to go to our final one. We actually did get around to it, and and the hard question has to be asked: why Melo could never win the big one? You know what,
I
Will? I have you start this one off, man. Go ahead. Well, tell us why Melo could never win the big one, and do you think it's his fault?
I think the thing that hurts Melo is he ran into really, really good teams. He ran into the Lakers. He ran into the he ran into the Lakers more than once. And the West was tough. You got the Spurs. You got the Mavericks. You got the Lakers. You got the New Orleans Hornets. Um, but yeah, I think he ran into really tough teams. You got Kobe and the Lakers. You got the big three, and San Antonio. You got Chris Paul leading his team. You got Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire. When they were with the Suns. The Mavericks had Dirk. The and then the competition was just the NBA was so good at that point. It was tough. Also, I think that his as much as I love Melo to death, like crazy, I love Melo. His ego was so big. His ego was inflated 10 times. He
Yeah.
thought he was the guy the whole time. He didn't really use his role players to the exact point that they should be. Um, he he had some decent players with him. Of course, Jeremy Lin, J.R. Smith, he had Amari Stoudemire. But he didn't have that other guy to help burden the load where
A true number
Melo can
two.
drop like a Jalen Brown, for example. Like Melo could drop 40 and this guy could drop 20. Like he didn't have that guy consistently. Um, he had a great coach in Denver. He had a okay coach in New York. When he went to New Orleans, they were they were in the middle of figuring out what to do with Russ, and they also had Paul George, so it was kind of weird. It was a weird
Yeah.
time in OKC. Portland was it was a pit stop. It was 3 years, but you had Dame and you had CJ, but you needed more help than those three, and it was an older Melo.
Right.
Houston, it was a recovering Houston team.
I'll
It was
I'll
a
I'll, I'll answer that one because we actually got a minute left. As far as Houston goes, there was no room for him here. He didn't want
no,
to come
and
off the
then
bench.
I'll end with the Lakers. I'll go with the Lakers real quick. It
Mm-hmm.
just he there was no room for him there as well. But you go real quick with all of them.
Yeah. With Houston, they talked about moving him to guard and having him come off the bench, and Melo didn't want to, and I don't blame him. There was no room for like people were like, okay, y'all got Carmelo Anthony. I'm like, I don't know why. There's no room for him here. There's absolutely no room for him here. Wow,
So
two
why do
errors on
you
the
think
same
he
play. What
never
the
won a
hell,
ring?
fellas?
What was the real reason?
The tough West. You just said it. You nailed it. The tough West. You know, Carmelo. I'll put it to you like this. I didn't like when he went to the Knicks. Had he went to the Knicks, had he been drafted by him? Remember the '04 Knicks actually went to the playoffs with Jamal Crawford. If he had been drafted by the Knicks in 2004, he would have gotten out of the East.
Okay,
He,
quick
he
question. I
probably
know
would
we
have gotten
got
out of the East.
2 minutes left. I want to
But we
hypothetically
actually
ask.
got 1 minute. But go ahead.
If he got drafted by the '04 Pistons instead of Milicic, and you have Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Carmelo, Rip Hamilton, Chauncey, do they win the title still? I think they do.
Not only do they win the title, they beat the Spurs the next year.
Yep, I agree.
They beat the
100%.
they beat the Spurs the next year, so they repeat. We do have to get off the air at the 28-minute mark. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Shout out to JT in the comments for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, please like and subscribe to our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, as well as our LinkedIn. Check us out on DBTV. For Will Vogel and Denzel Snipes, this is Basketbros. We'll see you next week. Later.